Hi everyone, my name is David, and this work was carried out by me, David Miranda, Carmen and Ticianne Darin. This article is entitled UES-Br, Translation and Cross-Cultural Adaptation of the User Engagement Scale for Brazilian Portuguese. In Brazil, research on HCI and game experience has grown substantially in recent years. However, this research lacks valid user experience assessment materials, and the majority of these materials are in English. But in Brazil, only a small part of the population understands English language. Researchers have sometimes applied translated questionnaire in an ad hoc manner, but this practice can provide an inaccurate data for research, compromising the results. Understanding that we needed to start from somewhere, we looked for an affection that would help researchers not only in the area of games, but also in the most diverse areas of technology. We ended up choosing engagement, as this affection cements the success of interactive designs. Thus, we choose an instrument that is widely used in academia, and that it has high validity and reliability. The instrument proposed by O'Brien and Thomas, the UES. Our research objectives were to carry out a translation and adaptation of the UES to the Brazilian context, preserving its psychometrical properties. To report the process, we ordered to encourage other researchers to do the same with the other language and instrument, and to provide a Brazilian academic community a versatile and valid instrument. The process consisted in two phases: translation and cultural adaptation, and psychometric validation. In the translation phase, the model proposed by Beaton from the translation and adaptation of questionnaires was followed. There were 5 steps in total: translation, synthesis, back translation, expert committee, and pretest. Next, the validation phase sought to evaluate data collected from a survey where the adopted questionnaire was applied. As a result, we were able to perform the pre-final test in 30 participants. The sampling proved to be heterogeneous, covering different levels of education and economic classes. The level of agreement among participants was almost 18%, where then all reported a positive understanding about the questionnaire. After applying the survey, which had 432 participants, we submitted the data to the validation process. The t-test for independent samples confirmed that positive experience was identified by the questionnaire as more engaging than negative experiences. The results of the confirmatory factor analysis showed that the factor structure of the original questionnaire was preserved in the adapted version. Analyzing the correlation of the items and the factors linked to the subscales, PU6 was the only item that showed a weak correlation. This research limitation can also be verified in the original questionnaire, indicating a relationship with the peak-end phenomenon. Finally, internal consistency was measured using McDonald's Omega and Chromax Alpha. Both showed that the version obtained had high levels of internal consistency and, therefore, high reliability. In this way, the translated and adopted instrument presents positive results, having, in addition of the high level of understanding, preserved the latent variables and demonstrated high reliability. The literature points out that measuring engagement is important for all types of application, but in the context of games, this measure provides critical information about the user behavior. Because of this, measuring engagement is a critical step to understand the game experience as a whole. With the growth of the player-computer interaction area in Brazil, it became common practice to use a questionnaire translated in an ad hoc manner. For this reason, research such as this one are important to verify the validity and reliability of studies involving the application of questionnaires. We hope that the reported process stimulates both the Brazilian and the international community to do the same for the respective languages and/or countries. Furthermore, the process can also be applied to other psychometrics instruments. For future studies, we suggest the reproduction of the method to other instruments and languages. We also suggest the utilization of the instrument produced by this research to assess the user engagement in digital games, applications, and other categories of digital artifacts. So, thank you for the attention.